Hello and welcome. Today we are going to take a look at the Stroud Turtle. Yep, I called it a turtle. This is the Stroud entry for the settler class ships. So it is built entirely out of Stroud Eklund parts. You can get all the pieces that you need for this from the Stroud Eklund Star Yard. Um, And as a Safari class ship, this means that it's going to have an armory, an infirmary, and then some beds for people to sleep in as you go on your journey. Now, for this particular ship, I ended up deciding that I wanted to build a ship that is entirely one level. There are no ladders in it at all. So you can go ahead and you can fly this ship around. There's no ladders to get into the cockpits. There's no ladders to leave the ship, to enter the ship, anything at all. Then, because it's Stroud Eklund, I went ahead and put a bunch of greebling on top to go ahead and smooth it out and make it look less like a pancake. And, well, in exchange now it looks like a turtle. So, let's go ahead, now that we've gotten a few good pictures, and fly on over to the Star Yard. All right, so now that we're docked, let me go ahead and get up and start doing the tour. So first things first, we have our bridge right here. And then we are going to go ahead and come back into a companionway. We do have a lovely little downward facing window. A lot more effective at, well, flying than, while you're landed. There's not a whole lot of room under the ship with the landing gear down. On the left, when we open this door here, we are going to come immediately into the infirmary, and you can see we do have a window at the front right there. Turning around here, we've got a door that is leading to another companionway with another window right there. Oh, it looks like I also put a window right there, looking out from the infirmary. Coming back here, this is our armory, um, and a couple more windows to look out of while we're here. And we can see right here, this is our landing bay access. So when you enter the ship, you are immediately going to either go into the armory or you're going to go into the infirmary. Either way, those are probably the two most important things to be able to reach from the immediate entry. Additionally, if you are going out on your hunting trips, it's going to be assumed that you need to go on over to the armory to pick up your weapons because that's where you're storing them. Coming around back into the center point of the ship, there's our cockpit, and then we have a door right here. And this is leading into one of the all-in-one berths. I don't remember if this is the A or the B, but the important thing here is we were going to check that because one of the versions has the bathroom door located right here, and then the other variant of this hab has the door located or bathroom located right there, which would then mean that it was removed by the door. And we want to make sure that we keep our bathroom on our boat. We do have a galley located right here. And coming back here, we go through another door. Right here, you can see we have our docker access. One of the alternatives that you can put here, though, rather than a second all-in-one berth, is you can have the all-in-one 3x1. That is going to go ahead and remove this companionway and instead have it extend the entire length. But that also means that there will not be a door right here to kind of give a little bit of privacy. And that is the interior of the ship. Let's come on in, see where Havishaw's hiding today.
Everything's so new here.
Are you ready to do some business? Absolutely.
Okay, and here's the ship. You can see the stats right over here. And let's go ahead and hop into the ship builder. So, just taking a brief look at the ship, you can see I am making use of the ship flip glitch a little bit, but I'm also making use of the duplication glitch because the um, grav drive and the engine or the reactor are located here, and they are hidden under this mid bracer. That being said, let's go ahead, now that we've looked at it a little bit, I'm going to grab the colors really quick to put them in my palette, because, you know, getting proper turtle colors is just really hard. And now that I've done that, let me go ahead and delete the ship. So, when we're building, I always like to go ahead and start with the landing bay. This particular ship, I'm having it on this side. You can very easily mirror the ship on over the other way. It just does not really matter. Um, Actually, before I go any further, there was one thing I had to check. So this is going to be the all-in-one B. So we need the B up front. Note that if you mirror it, you're going to want to have the A right here. All right, now that I've looked at that, it's always fun. So we're going to do that. We are going to go ahead and grab a companionway. We are going to grab the all-in-one armory. We are going to go ahead and grab the all-in-one, the 2x1 infirmary. Then here we're going to grab another companionway. Note for these, you could use a companionway or a storeroom, it does not matter. Here we are going to go ahead and grab the all-in-one berth B. Then we're going to grab another companionway. And then this one, it doesn't matter, so we'll go with the A. Then we're going to come right here, and we're going to go on over to the dockers, and we're going to do the Connect Pro docker. And then for the cockpits, none of these require Starship design, and they are basically all identical except for just slightly more cargo capacity for an insignificant amount of mass. So if you do have a preference, or some of these aren't available, use whatever, but I'm just going to grab the CP220. Alright, and that is all of the habitable space on this ship. So, now, let's go ahead and start filling out the rest. So the first thing I need to do is I need to come on in here to the gear, and I'm going to grab the AccuLander 11, and I want it in the middle variant, so it's got connections on each side. If you're not familiar with this, I'm just going to pull this off to the side real quick. You can see as I flip it, it changes. There's this little divot here for some shaping, and it just changes the side, or is kind of like a mid-bracer. I'm going to put 2 of those on the ship, and that is going to be all of the landing gear that the ship needs. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the cargo. And for the ship, I'm using 2 DeGamma 1010s, 1 on each side. And I'm going to do a slight variation from my initial build, and I'm going to hide this cargo behind a Stroud cap. And the reason I'm doing this is to go ahead and also demonstrate a variation on this where you don't have that top turtle covering. That not having that is going to go ahead and save you some mass, um, a fairly significant amount, and also improve the not the maneuverability, the mobility of your ship. It's close enough to maneuverability. Now let's go ahead and grab our engines. This is the other thing that it's going to do is lets me just put the engine on right here rather than needing to worry about having the top cap that this would be connected to. Then I have a pair of the Ares DT30s here. So this is the Airman 3 and the Ares DT30. Again, this is just my usual, the best engines I can do without needing Starship designed. Then we just go ahead and finish up the elements that are going to be forming kind of this base layer. So I've just got some portholes, and then this part is completely optional. You can just go ahead and slap some portholes on the bottom of the ship too. There we go. And if you don't put the structural elements on top, you can slap portals on the top too, but that's going to be covered up by my eventual end build. Now, I'm going to come on down here and I'm going to choose the Stroud nose cap D. And the reason I'm choosing the D is because it does have a weapon mount on the side right here. So this means that even if I don't put any greebling on top, I will have a weapon mount here, here, and then two under here, which is enough for 4 weapons. Now, I am missing my reactor, my grav drive, and my fuel. So, let's go ahead and start adding that. Oh, and my shield too. So for this ship, I have the 134 toroidal reactor. For my grav drive, I grabbed the R3000. And then, basically mounted on the sides of this, I have the fuel. And let's see, looks like I grabbed a Titan 350. And a pair of them. So it doesn't really matter where you put them. You can put them here or here. Again, just wherever you like the most. And then let's go on over to the shields. And you can see I used the 30S, which can be mounted vertically somewhere, or I could go ahead and side mount it on this. For this particular build, I'm just going to slap it right here. Now, we have all the fuel, we have our shields, we just need some weapons, and if you want to, you can leave your ship exactly like this. You don't need to add any additional pieces on top. It is effectively a pancake. However, you will note that we've got 88 mobility right now, which is actually fairly decent. We only have 4 weapon mounts, so we can only get 4 weapons, but that's not a big deal for a ship that only has 20 reactor power. Excuse me. However, if we want to go ahead and add all of that top structural elements, this is what I ended up doing. So first things first, I've got the caps that I'm putting here, and then for this middle area, I have the 2 wide cap. You can put that on either side. And then the 1 wide cap, because this is 3 wide here. Next up, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and I have the aft cap here and here. And then I have, where is it? The mid bracer. I am going to eventually end up putting 4 mid bracers on, just basically hiding these 4 components under that. However, the mid bracer does not have a bottom connection point, so I can't just go ahead and set it on top and call it a day. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to set this right here. And another thing that you can do if it makes it slightly easier is we can just go ahead and put this here. And then we're going to grab our Stroud cowling. And you can see that hides it there just as well. I believe that's what I actually did on the ship, but since it's all hidden, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and now all I have left is, let me just go ahead and pull these pieces out of the way really quick. So that way I can get some connection points. Okay, so now that these are hovering above, I need to duplicate them downwards. And to do that, let me just delete that really quick. I'm going to go ahead and take the cap here. I'm going to stack it up too high so that way I've got control over where it's wanting to go. And then I'm going to use the duplication glitch. For this, I'm going to select both of these, hover over the bottom one because I want to duplicate it down, Control G, duplicates, push that down, hit cancel, and then you can see it duplicated down. And there you go. Now all that's left is to choose your weapons and slap them on. So for this particular ship, if I come on down here, I had a pair of the Adelaide 270As. I just went ahead and tucked them in on the sides. And then you can see I had 2 of the Ravager 20 MEVs. And I have so many points that I can put them on. I could just choose wherever meets my fancy. But let's go ahead and just slap them on right here. And that is all of my weapons. You'll see that my total is slightly above, and that's just because I went ahead and I kept these 2 Stroud caps on. My mobility is only 71 this way, but if I were to delete them, you can see my mobility goes up to 73. So it's just a matter of, do you like the look with those caps on and coming over and covering this? Or we could also go ahead and put some Stroud cowlings on over that. Or if you would like, you could even go ahead and take the Acculanders and flip the Acculanders on there. And that would then also let you go ahead and push the reactor and the grav drive down rather than having them be in the center. For myself, I don't like merging pieces that have that actually do something. I don't care about merging structural pieces. I will merge those all day just because that's there for the appearance. But I don't like merging, say, the landing gear with the cargo because at that point you've got multiple pieces in that same spot and you're, I feel, cheating the system a little bit. If you don't mind doing that, though, then it would be very easy to just go ahead and merge, say, your reactor, your grav drive, maybe your fuel, and just kind of have one block that contains all of those components. But for this particular build, I'm going to go ahead and put these Stroud caps back on because I've been debating about it, and I think I kind of like this look a little bit more, hiding that cargo. But again, however you want to do it is however you want to do it. So I do have one error. It's just I need to assign my weapons. And then finally, let's paint the ship. And there we go. The Stroud Turtle. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.